Over $160 billion. That is how much value is currently locked inside stablecoins right now, today, circulating across global financial networks that never sleep, never close, and never ask for your permission. And yet most people still cannot explain what a stablecoin actually is or why that number should matter to them personally. Here is what this video is going to do. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to understand exactly how stablecoins work from the ground up, why they have become the backbone of the entire crypto economy, and here is the part most channels skip completely: why one specific type of stablecoin is a ticking time bomb hiding inside what looks like perfectly safe technology. By the end of this, you will never look at a dollar sign on a blockchain the same way again. Let us go back to where this all started. Bitcoin launched in 2009 and it gave the world something genuinely new, a currency that no government controlled, no bank could freeze, and no central authority could inflate away overnight. But Bitcoin had a problem that its early believers did not fully appreciate. It was wildly, brutally volatile. One day it might be worth $30,000. 3 months later, $15,000. 3 months after that, $60,000. For everyday commerce, for lending, for saving, the kind of price swings made Bitcoin nearly unusable as an actual currency. You cannot price a sandwich in Bitcoin when the value of Bitcoin changes by 5% before the customer reaches the register. The crypto ecosystem needed stability, and by around 2014 to 2015, developers and entrepreneurs started building the solution. The first major stablecoin was Tether, launched in 2014, operating under the ticker USDT. The premise was simple and powerful. What if you created a crypto token that was always worth exactly $1? Not approximately $1. Not usually $1. Always $1, by design, by mechanism, by structure. That idea unlocked something massive. So how do you actually make a digital token maintain a fixed price in a market where everything else moves constantly? There are 3 fundamentally different answers to that question, and each one comes with its own strengths and its own hidden dangers. The first method is called fiat-backed stablecoins. This is the most straightforward approach. A company holds real US dollars or other real-world assets like treasury bills in a bank account. For every single token they issue, $1 real sits in reserve. You give the company $1, they mint you 1 token. You hand back the token, they return your dollar. Tether works this way. USDC, issued by Circle, works this way. These 2 alone account for the overwhelming majority of all stablecoin volume in the world. USDC in particular became the gold standard for transparency, publishing regular audits of its reserves. The model is simple, it works, and it scales. But here is the first thing nobody talks about. Fiat-backed stablecoins are centralized. Completely. The company holding those reserves can freeze your account. Regulators can pressure the company. The bank holding the reserves could fail. In 2023, when Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, USDC briefly lost its peg and dropped to 97 cents because Circle held a portion of its reserves there. 3 cents may not sound like much, but when billions of dollars of DeFi protocols are built assuming USDC is always worth exactly $1, 3 cents is a catastrophe in slow motion. The second method is crypto-backed stablecoins. These are far more interesting from a technical standpoint. Instead of holding dollars in a bank, these systems hold other cryptocurrencies as collateral, but they over-collateralize heavily to absorb price swings. The most famous example is DAI, created by MakerDAO. To mint 1 DAI, worth $1, you might need to lock up $150 worth of Ethereum as collateral. If Ethereum drops and your collateral falls below a certain threshold, the system automatically liquidates your position to keep DAI stable. No company, no CEO, no bank account. Pure code running on a blockchain. The trade-off is capital inefficiency. You need to lock up far more value than you create, and in extreme market crashes, even over-collateralization can fail to prevent cascading liquidations. The third method is algorithmic stablecoins. And this is where we need to talk very carefully, because this category gave the world one of the most devastating financial collapses in crypto history. Algorithmic stablecoins try to maintain their peg not through reserves but through code and incentive mechanisms. The theory is elegant. If the price rises above $1, the algorithm creates more tokens, increasing supply, bringing the price back down. If the price falls below $1, the algorithm burns tokens or incentivizes buying, reducing supply, pushing the price back up. No reserves needed. Pure economics. But here is what nobody talks about loudly enough. This system works beautifully until it does not. Terra USD, known as UST, was an algorithmic stablecoin paired with a sister token called Luna. At its peak, UST had a market cap of over $18 billion. In May 2022, a series of large coordinated sells broke confidence in the peg. UST dropped slightly below $1. People panicked and sold. More UST flooded the market. The algorithm minted enormous quantities of Luna to absorb the selling pressure. Luna's price cratered. And now UST's collateral was worthless, which caused more selling, which caused more Luna printing, which caused more panic. Within 72 hours, $18 billion essentially evaporated. Hundreds of thousands of people lost their savings. The entire Terra ecosystem, once one of the top 10 crypto projects in the world, collapsed to nearly zero. That is the risk hiding inside algorithmic design. So why do stablecoins matter so much beyond just being a safe harbor? This is where the real story gets fascinating. Stablecoins have become the plumbing of decentralized finance. Every lending protocol, every decentralized exchange, every yield farming strategy, every cross-border payment solution on a blockchain, nearly all of it runs on stablecoins. When someone in Argentina wants to protect their savings from hyperinflation, they convert their pesos to USDT on their phone and hold dollar-equivalent value without needing a US bank account. When a freelancer in Nigeria gets paid by a client in Germany, stablecoins settle the transaction in seconds for fractions of a cent, bypassing the SWIFT system entirely. These are not hypothetical use cases. These are happening millions of times every single day. The total daily trading volume of stablecoins now regularly exceeds the daily trading volume of Bitcoin and Ethereum combined. Let that land for a moment. The so-called boring, stable tokens that move no percentage points are more actively used than the assets that made crypto famous. That tells you everything about what the market actually needs versus what it finds exciting to speculate on. Regulators have noticed. In the United States, the European Union, Singapore, and the United Kingdom, major stablecoin legislation is either passed, pending, or in active drafting right now. The EU's MiCA regulation, which took full effect in 2024, imposes strict reserve requirements and licensing demands on stablecoin issuers operating in Europe. The US has been slower, but congressional debates are intensifying. The question governments are wrestling with is profound. If hundreds of billions of dollars of stablecoin value can flow instantly across borders with no central bank involvement, what happens to monetary policy? What happens to capital controls? What happens to the very idea of a national currency? Some analysts believe stablecoins are the first step toward a world where the dollar remains dominant but the US government loses meaningful control over how dollars move. Others argue stablecoins actually strengthen dollar dominance globally. Because when people in emerging markets want a stable store of value, they reach for USDT, not the euro or the yen. The dollar wins. Just not through traditional banking channels. What we know for certain is this. Stablecoins solved the problem that made crypto impractical for daily use. They created the bridge between traditional finance and decentralized systems. They enabled billions of dollars in financial activity that would otherwise have been impossible or prohibitively expensive. Before you go, if you learned something valuable today, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to Block Vault Daily for a brand new video every single day. We will see you in the next one.